Hey, everybody. Tell me in the comments if this broadcast is clear. That's what I want to know. Everybody. Tell me in the comments if this broadcast is clear. That's what I want to know. I think we've got a good connection. I do. Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your schedule to spend a few moments with me here on SML TV. Is that you don't ever want it too loud, because if it's too loud, it's not going to work for you. Here we go. All right. So, guys, do me a favor. Just hop on here real quick and see if we can have a conversation or two about a few things. I know we are in an election year, and being so means that lots of things are happening. And there are so many issues that are noteworthy, things that we have to talk about, things that are imperative to be discussed. And that's one of the reasons I'm here. And if you could just jump on here real quick. Who is that? Chipego? Chipego. And tell me also, guys, hi, Chipego. Tell me, tell me on a garbage. I tell you what, that's where we're going. You know, we need to take care of that. Tell me also if this broadcast is clear. I just need to make sure that it is. And if my sound is good. If my sound is good and my picture is good. Guys, I know I said it before. I'll say it again. I recently installed Starlink here at Simoson for my setup here. And I had been watching B-Flow. I went to B-Flow's page, and he was talking about this the Starlink that somebody had installed, and I called the same people. They came running, and here we are. Tell me also if my voice is in sync with the movement of my mouth. Tell me that. I also need to change my, here it is. I'll get it here in a moment. Styles. Right, because some styles look better than others. What do you think about that one? What do you think of that? What about, yeah, I think that's the best one. You know why I think that's the best one is because I can clearly read it on the screen. Tell me, which one do you like? Tell me in the comments. Do you like that one? Tell me. Why not focus on your? This is something I'm gonna talk about this. I want us to really hone in because I believe I'm a big believer in educating people. And one of the things that we have a struggle with in my country, in Zambia, is that many things are oversimplified. And if you don't explain things to people, you'll get comments like this. And I'm going to read it and I'll answer this. I answer this comment over and over and over again. And this is my philosophy. As long as you are asking it, I will answer it. I will never grow weary. I will never grow tired of answering this question. So let's deal with it. This is Zamboy says, why not focus on your mayoral campaign? You're fighting a big battle. This is bigger than Lusaka. Number one, we are in an election season. We are in a battle of ideas. Number one. Number two, I'm a mayoral candidate and I campaign every single day. As soon as I'm done with this broadcast, we're going to go door to door, talking to people, sticking posters, having real conversations with people on the ground, that people that care about the city and people that want to see the city better. We're going to be talking to those. Number three, we recognize that we are living in a real world that needs real conversations. What people like this are suggesting, they're suggesting bury your head in the sand, don't talk about those things. Why not? This is the battle of ideas. Why not? And that is my answer to this query, this question. And this mainly comes from, and of course, he's got Vasata's picture there. Vasata is someone that I knew, and I knew for many, many years. And I disagreed with his politics, but I knew him and I loved him. You know, he was a good friend of my father. And here it is. We are now in the battle of ideas. Remove this thing from your head where you say, no, don't talk about that. Why not? It's partisan politics. It's a political season. This is my platform. And most importantly, this is my country. This is your country. You have the right to talk about current events that affect you and your family and your well-being. Why not talk about them? Do not bury your head in the sand. Do not turn a blind eye to pivotal questions that must be answered. I'll give you an example. Many years ago, God rest his soul, when former President Lungu, it was announced that he was going to be running for president, there were these whispers that while he was a lawyer, he had sort of underplayed a woman out of her money. Guys, anytime a political figure is running for president, ask questions. There's nothing wrong with saying, hey, listen, what's this? What's going on here? Ask questions. And you know, in other countries, depending on the answer you give, it sort of lends to this idea that, well, maybe that's not the way we should go. Okay. Which brings me to the issue of, many of you know that Brian Mundubile was involved in some type of road construction deal that never took off. This was back when he was serving in the PF. He was in the PF government. And for those of you that don't know, let me just break it down for you. Before Brian, and these are facts, these are not opinions, these are not things that I've just decided to talk about or or things that I'm just bringing to the fore for the sake of bringing them to the fore. These are facts because these are people that want to lead us. These are people that have put their names forward for president. So we, the duty, the onus, it is incumbent upon you and I to know as much as possible about the candidates that we're putting forward for leadership. Let's stop there for a moment. I want you to type that in the comments. As the electorate, you and I, when we see people that put their names forward for leadership, it is imperative that we know as much as possible about a candidate that is putting their names forward for leadership. Can we agree on that? Can we agree on that? Can you just say thank you? Exactly. And there's nothing wrong with that. Many of you know that some years ago, Brian, and it's important also to note that when Brian says that he's a lawyer, he's never been a practicing lawyer. Okay, let's be clear about that. He's never been a practicing lawyer. He's never had a law firm. He, according to him, he did study some type of law, but he branched off into accounts, and then he was running, and which there's nothing wrong with this. I'm just simply giving you his history, which is something that you and I need to know when we go to the polls. Again, I have to say it, and I'll never tire of saying it. When these candidates put themselves forward and we go to the polls to vote for them, we must know everything we need to know about these candidates before we vote for them. So, Brian did a stint. He did a bit of lawyering at school, and then he sort of left that and then went into accounts. And then when he got into politics, he was running a pharmacy on Cairo Road. Nothing wrong with that. All that says to me is that he's an entrepreneur. He's a businessman. And nobody should fault businessmen for wanting to serve in government. If you're a businessman, you want to serve in government, hey, more power to you. So when he got involved with the PF, and somewhere in between there, he set up a road construction company. And this is very indicative. This is very common in Zambian politics, where you set up a company and you do things when you have no ability to do them, but because there's a contract, there's a tender, you just decide, you know what, let me set up a company. And in this case, it was the construction of roads. So, Brian was an insider of the PF. He was very connected to the president. He was the chief whip in Parliament. So he knew his ins and outs of how the system worked. So he set up a road construction company. Now, keep in mind, his background is he studied a bit of law, he did accounting, then he went into, he ran a pharmaceutical shop along Cairo Road, and then he went into politics, and then all of a sudden he created this road construction company. Now, there's nothing wrong with that if you deliver the roads. Can we agree on that? Can we all say that if you do set up a road construction company, even if you have no background in road construction, you have no background in engineering, but you set up a company and they pay you for road construction and you actually deliver the roads, how many people know that's fine? That's okay, because you've delivered. You have delivered what you've been paid for. Well, Brian was given 1.5 billion kwacha to construct roads, which he never delivered. So here's my question, and I want you to answer truthfully. And I want you for a moment to pull away the scales of partisan politics. Pull away the scales of your political loyalty to whoever. Pull away the scales of bias for a moment and just look at this issue objectively and then answer me in the comment section below. Here we go. I'm going to ask you this question. Here's the question. If a presidential candidate has stolen public funds, because that's what it is, when the government pays you, when they give you 1.5 billion kwacha and you don't make roads, how many people know that's theft? Can we agree on that, or do you not want to hear that? Can we agree that the definition of theft is you're paid to do something, you don't do it, it's theft. So the question is, if a presidential candidate has stolen public funds, should he be elected to public office? Now, answer that question. Yes or no? All right, here's the question. So this person here, Daniel, doesn't know that when this information came out, Mr. Brian Mundubile was summoned by the Anti-Corruption Commission. He was warned and cautioned. Warn and caution is a fancy way of saying he was arrested. You remember he went to the ACC office there. There was a lot of hoopla and there were lots of people out there that made a lot of noise. He gave the ACC a statement concerning this issue. So as we sit here and speak now, this issue is in flex. It's in play. In other words, this issue has left a paper trail that needs to be sort of investigated. So the question then is, again, I have to emphasize because I know that there are a lot of PF supporters on my page. They all come here, because PF supporters find it. They find that when I speak against one of their candidates, they all just converge here. They're like piranhas. they're like sharks in a sea full of blood. When they sniff the blood, they just come swimming over here and they just lose their minds. So I understand that there are lots of PF surrogates that spend a lot of time here. In fact, they sort of hang out here because they know that I'm going to say something that they don't like. And so they jump on that. And if you're a PF surrogate, PF Tonse, because it's all the same thing. PF and Tonse, they're the same people. Tonse is the reincarnation of PF. Oh, that's a deep one. Go ahead and tell me in the comments. Tonse is the reincarnation of the PF. So to answer this, Daniel, why is he not in jail? Well, because the matter's still being investigated. It was the ACC summoned him. He was arrested on this matter. He was released on bail. And this thing is still in play. So, but it doesn't negate the question, because this is where Zambians need to start thinking. We have many countries all over the world. Just this alone is enough to just knock you out of the race. Just this alone. Because this is not even just an accusation. It is a fact. But it's only in Zambia where we play. It's only in Zambia where it's what you want to run for public office? Okay, here's the question. Would you trust a thief with your house keys? There's the question. Would you trust a thief with your house keys? I wouldn't. Would you? Here's another one. Precious. This is Precious. He says, you talk too much. So we shouldn't talk about this? We should not speak about this? Oh, Precious is saying, low key, Precious is saying, Oh, don't challenge. Just let it be. Don't talk about it. So guys, let me ask you, is this correct? We shouldn't talk about this? These are not issues we should discuss? No? We should leave them alone? Oh, maybe we leave them alone. Should we do that? Yeah? How about we leave it alone? How about we just close the doors and go home, turn off the lights and say, let's not discuss that. You're talking about someone's character. That is their character. If you're talking about theft, you're talking about their character. So my question then is, doesn't someone's character matter? Or should we, according to Precious, not talk about it? Oh my goodness. Zambians. No, I'll school you. I will be here until the sun goes down. I will school you. You must learn. We must learn that when we are in a political dispensation, we can ask our leaders questions. We can demand answers. We can inquire and dig deeper. We can do that, especially when it comes to funds. The rule has always been, if a person is a known thief, don't trust them with your home. Simple. What is strange about that? Tell me in the comments. What is strange about that? Somebody says, okay, let me highlight this. He says, you are asking us, and we are not the right people to ask that. Of course you are. You are the electorate. You are the voters. You are the right people to ask that question because we're talking about someone's character. Come on, guys. Are you burying your head in the sand? Is that what you're doing? Come on. Let's not do that. Okay? So, in my view, the answer to this question to me is very clear. So let's ask it again. If a presidential candidate, let's for a moment suspend the name. Anybody, anyone that vies for higher office, anyone that says, I want to place my name forward for presidential leadership. If that presidential candidate has stolen public funds, should he or she be elected to public office? Answer the question. It's a question. Answer it. You see, people are. Tondola says, think beyond your emotions. You're a man. We're not talking about my gender. We're not talking about my emotional makeup. The question is, this is the question, if a presidential candidate has stolen public funds, should he be elected to public office? Don't scapegoat and start talking about my emotions and my gender and my affiliation and my sexual orientation. None of those things have anything to do with this question. Answer the question. When you're standing in court and the lawyer asks you a question and you start talking about this, that, and the third, you will be compelled to answer the question. The judge will say, Iwe, just answer that question. Don't talk about those other things you're talking about. You're talking about the sky and the toilet being unflushed. We are not asking that. We are saying, if a presidential candidate has stolen public funds, should he be elected to public office? Answer the question, yes or no. Simple. Here it is. We learn a lot from people who talk too much, especially presidential candidates. Yeah, but you haven't answered the question. Have they been found guilty by the courts of law? That's not the question. And I've explained to you that the Electoral Commission of Zambia, the Anti-Corruption Commission summoned Brian Mundubile, recorded a warning caution concerning this issue, and this issue is still under investigation. So the matter is yet to go to court, but it will go to court because we're talking about public funds. We're not talking about your money. I mean, we're not talking about your personal money. We're talking about our money. Okay? So the matter will go to court, and the courts will decide whether or not Brian is guilty. That's still yet to be seen. But the question is, and here's the question, please answer it. If a presidential candidate has stolen public funds, should he be elected to public office? Please answer the question. No. Simple. That's an answer to that question. Now, if you were to say yes, I would push you further and say, so you think that a person who steals public money should be elected to public office? And you say yes. I will push you further and say, why do you say that? Why would you justify that? And then you would have to explain why you say yes. But the simple answer is no. It's no. The answer is a big no. All right. So I'm going to ask you to call me. I'm going to ask you to call me. I'm going to please only call me on WhatsApp. I want to hear your views. Okay. I'm going to put my number up here, and I want you to call me. Only phone me on WhatsApp. Do not direct call me. Is that okay, guys? Let me say it again. Call me only on WhatsApp. Do not call me directly. Call me on WhatsApp. All right. So here it is. Let me just unblock the calling thingamabob. And then I'm going to throw up my phone number here. I'm using StreamYard. Is that the thing? So there's the number. Let's try this. I hope this works. So there's my number. Call me and tell me. The question is this. Here's the question. If a presidential candidate has stolen public funds, should he be elected? That's the question. So tell me in the comments. And let's see here. There's my number there. Is someone calling? I hope I'm connected. Maybe I've done something wrong. I don't know. Here's another one. But should he even appear on the ballot? That's a good question. These again, this person here doesn't understand the question. Doesn't understand that just answer the question. Not if imulelanda wa oswad. If imulelanda tafukwetenchito. Today push a question. Answer the question. Here it is. I don't think I've connected my phone correctly. It's not doing it. It's not doing it. Here it is. Let me just double check. Let me double check here. All right. There's my number. I'm going to turn off the ticker. There you go. I'm going to turn that off. And then I'm going to, there you go. Hello?
Hello, am I speaking to SMRC?
Yes, you are. Who am I speaking with, sir?
You're speaking to Muyunda.
Yes, Vamayunda. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Sioma.
Okay. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah, maybe my contribution would be that the question would have been that should they even appear on the ballot? Because the first thing is for them not to appear on the ballot. If someone has stolen public funds, automatically they're not supposed even to appear on the ballot. Unlike a situation where you already put them on the ballot and then you start telling people that these have stolen public funds, but choose. I think it will be difficult for people to start choosing in that way.
I agree with that.
Yeah. But the first thing should be, are they supposed to appear on the ballot? The first thing is that they're not supposed even to appear on the ballot.
I agree.
As long as they appear on the ballot, we'll take it as if they're not guilty of anything.
I agree. It's tricky because the case, as you know, is still in flex, and it's a.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm getting you.
Yeah. No, I agree with that they shouldn't be on the ballot, and that speaks of the scrutiny of the process. You know, I think that when presidential candidates have a questionable financial past, that should be exhausted before they even appear on the ballot. So on that point, I agree with you. Thank you, sir. Yeah. So they shouldn't even be on the ballot. You know, so at least we got one caller, and I know, and I'm comfortable with my phone device. I've connected my phone to my Rodecaster Pro 2. This is the cable that goes into the console, and then I can hear the calls through the audio thing, which is good. I'm glad about that. So please give me a call on WhatsApp. The question we're asking is this: if a presidential candidate has stolen public funds, should he be elected to public office? Please call me on that number there. And only on WhatsApp, guys. Do not call me on anything else. Only on WhatsApp. And let's exhaust it. Okay? Here we go. Let me read a couple of other comments here. Someone says, then better I don't vote for a government that fails to fight corruption. Why not prosecute if there's evidence than just being rhetoric? Rhetoric. Sorry, not rhetoric. Rhetoric. Yeah, rhetoric. Here we go. Hello?
Hello.
Hey,
Good afternoon, sir.
a very good afternoon. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Please, what's your name?
This is Ben.
Where are you calling from,
This is
Ben?
Ben calling you. I'm calling you from Mansa.
Kumanza.
Yes, boss.
That's where I'm from, son. That's my homes. That's my homestead.
That's a good thing. Anyway, that's why I've been following you. Anyway, I know that.
Yes, sonny. What's your
Uh,
name? Ben.
my name is Ben.
Go ahead.
Chipa.
Go ahead.
Yes. My contribution is the question that you have put on this program very important and very educative, but also it's very unfortunate that you're only talking about uh, uh, honorable brand because we look at the leaders that uh, we have in Zambia. Most of them they shouldn't even be near the ballot paper because of their agendas and all that. They're talking about like where I am here in Mansa. There was that scandal that you heard about sewage light and all that, and we have seen a lot of corruption in UPND, which you guys you have never talked about it. You have kept quiet about that, and we are wondering because me I'm neutral. Actually, I don't. Uh, I'm not favoring anybody. If your brand Munduvile is corrupt, why is it on a ballot paper? Because that's the job of Electoral Commission of Zambia. The Anti-Corruption Commission. They were supposed to investigate him. Um, if he did something which was wrong, they were supposed to be maybe in the course of law. I'm sure that is already there. But uh, the other thing is, I think in Zambia we need to be more sincerely with each other in terms of politics. Especially for you, Mr. Mwa. I cannot judge you because of background. Uh, I cannot see the good part about you, the way you want to change the face of Lusaka. Yes, which I'm proud of. And if I'm voting from Lusaka, I can personally vote for you because of the work in terms of garbage collection and all that, and you want to improve the face of Lusaka, which is a very good thing. But I think kumirudisha like kwamba kumijudging just because of your background. I think Zambia, I think all over the world, even when you go to Tanzania or these other African countries, I think that's wrong. Because sometimes you make certain decisions because of maybe the people we are with, or maybe in the active. I think maybe I Brown Mundubile. Honorable Brown Mundubile was the minister of Northern Province, and it's not really about him like judging him personally, contract and all that. But also you can also look at uh, uh, like ofuba ababe inife n'omutima abo bakwata for the people, not just because he was a minister and certain things. Yeah, you know, like when you're with wrong people, even if nangu mwali bafe bwino bamwe even you sometimes probably because you're not the one person who's making that decision because you have to follow certain procedures, certain uh, uh, decisions. So naba mundu bile bene barabara ba provision minister yakoba ebintu fibali according to himself. He was also following President Lungu's orders. He was just a mere minister for Northern Province, and not all about judging just because of maybe contract work with him. It will be unfair for him. He's also a human being. He's
Wow.
a leader as well.
Wow.
There are certain things that there are certain things that he did in Bolokoso and for the people of Northern Province. But if you're just looking at yaine tiuba kwete maybe ngashinga milioni yo bakusinde contract
1.5 billion.
atawefeana bena
1.5 billion.
yeah 1.5 billion yes atawefeana bena because maybe then the due maybe favor yes in favor because he was in UPF, he was in cabinet, he was a cabinet minister.
Thank you, son. Thank you for
Same
your
was even
call.
in UPNG.
So because if you don't cut him off, he'll just keep talking. That to me sounds like a young man that's creating excuses for theft. And that's a horrible place to be. That a young person would create excuses for theft and say, no, well, it wasn't up to him. It's maybe it wasn't his fault. Well, and that's what's wrong with our country. That is what is wrong with our country. So Mrs. Jealousy. Well, I think you meant to say jealousy, not jealous. Jealousy will kill you. Well, it's got nothing to do with jealousy. Just answer the question. Here's the question. If a presidential candidate has stolen public funds, should he be elected to public office? Is that jealousy? Or is that a question that begs an answer? Come on, guys. Come on. Okay. One more phone call. Hello? Jealousy will kill you. Well, it's got nothing to do with jealousy. Just answer the question. Here's the question. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, this is good afternoon.
Very good afternoon to you, sir. Who am I speaking with?
You probably might know who I am, but I will choose to remain anonymous to the audience.
Please go ahead.
So we're discussing, should somebody who has stolen public funds seek office?
Right. What's your answer?
Okay. That question might need a little bit of context, because if you just ask it like that blatantly, of course, any rational person would say absolutely not.
Simple.
But I would want you to. I would ask you a few questions. Maybe we can give the situation some context, and then we can maybe see if we can change that answer.
I'm listening.
I don't know if you'll be willing to.
I'm listening,
Okay.
but don't go into a long dissertation. You've got 1 minute.
Okay. So, who are you trying to refer to someone in particular?
No, this is a general question.
Someone who.
There is a link, but I mean
I've seen
generally.
Your Facebook is asking questions like, bruh, you've alleged that there's a certain political candidate who has made way with 1.5 billion in public funds and seeking presidential office.
It's not. I'm not alleging. The investigation is that Brian was called in by the ACC, questioned on the matter, and the matter is still in play. That's the issue. It's not. I'm not making it up. It's a fact that he is under investigation for that.
But why would it bubble up prior to, in the build-up to him seeking office? Why do you think it has been swept under the carpet, maybe per se, and it's only bubbled up now that he's trying to seek office?
No, this issue has been in play for a while. It's public knowledge. In fact, when he was summoned, I don't know if you're aware of this, when he was summoned by the ACC for warning caution, it was public. Everybody saw it. This was several months ago. So the issue has been in play for a while. It's not like it's just popped up now.
Well, you see, Mr. Moyo, what I can tell you is that in the Zambian political space, it's only for strong people such as yourself. Because, to be honest, I don't think I would. I don't have strong bones to go through what people like you go through on a daily basis. And I can say, if I was to remind you, the current head of state has also at one time or another been accused of such, So in the political space, such is expected. The courts will come to a conclusion, and I really appreciate what you do personally as Mr. Stambala Muewa, to keep the Zambians engaged and keep us up to date and up to speed. And I'm sure the courts will make a decision, and we're going to enjoy the political space in the build-up to the 2026 general elections.
Indeed. Thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you so much.
All right, let's take one more phone call. Hello.
Oh, Mr. Moore.
Hello.
Hi, can you get me?
I can get you. Who am I speaking with?
Oh, just choose to remain anonymous. I hope you don't mind. Just calling from South Africa.
No problem. How are you guys doing in South Africa there? Are you a Zambian in South Africa?
No, we're doing great. Absolutely. I listen to your program all the time.
Really? Thank you. But are you safe there? Are you okay?
Absolutely. No, we're doing great. I think the police did a good job here. And
wow.
Yeah, we're doing great. Can't complain. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you're safe.
Yeah. I just wanted to make a very quick contribution. Don't want to take too much of your time.
Go ahead.
Yeah, just as a Zambian citizen, I noticed so many things that happen back home. And I think, I don't mean to sound harsh or mean, but I think if you can call a spade for what it is, you can imagine you asked a very simple question and it took close to 3-4 guys just to give you a direct answer. That concerns me about how people are going to vote. Are people really thinking about the future of our country, our kids, the next generation, if they cannot answer a basic question like that? Because you're trying to vote in somebody, or you're giving somebody your vote, or considering giving somebody your vote, who is being questioned for no doubtedly have stolen public funds. I think for me, that's a very big concern.
Indeed.
And I hope that the general public can understand how severe and how serious it is to simply just look at this issue like it's a very small issue, And sometimes I also hear you talk about how clean Lusaka must be. We need to have a base, a foundation, and just how lightly people are taking it. So I think for me, that really concerns me as a citizen. I know I'm not in the country right now, but I also love my country. So I just hope people can start to take some of these things that are happening very seriously, looking at the problems that we're coming from. How can we fix them if we're going back to the same problems that we had before?
Indeed. And when you ask these types of questions, my experience has been people just scapegoat. They make excuses. They deflect attention. They say, no, you're jealous. No, you're not perfect. But that's not the issue. The issue is, if you have been accused of stealing public funds, should you be allowed to run for president? And unfortunately, just like you pointed out, our people have oversimplified matters. No, God is the one who chooses. And it really brings into question how we vote and what makes us decide on how we vote. What I'm hearing you say, and I agree with you, is we need to be informed voters.
Exactly. And I think, like you said, Nikuno Twangala, I see how much pressure when you follow what's happening in the States. I've seen how much pressure just the defense secretary is being put in spite him being in office right now.
Oh, yeah.
On some of the decisions that he's making.
Oh, yeah.
So I really don't understand why people will take offense to us asking what somebody is going to do if he is going to govern, or as they like to say, rule instead of serve.
Yes.
Is it 21 million Zambians?
Yes, that's correct.
Anyway, Mr. Moore, I rest my case. I hope you guys are okay as well. You take care and keep up the good work.
Thank you for the call. Cheers.
Sure.
Shop, shop. You can tell he's in South Africa. He says shop, 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 shop. Right. Well, hey guys. Thanks for watching. I gotta go. I need to go campaigning. Thanks for watching. God bless.